widdz here, and in today's video I'm gonna go through one of my favorite guns and builds when it comes to the Division 2. It is a build that I don't really play too often, but I always come back to it and I'm always amazed by it. So in this video I'm gonna go through the build, show you some gameplay, and also show you some new additions that came with the new season for this build in particular. So we're just gonna go straight into the gun, and you probably have guessed it. It is a Victor and it is Chameleon. So it is a SMG slash Victor, but it acts as an assault rifle, which means it comes with health damage and assault rifle damage. But as you can see with the stats, it have stats like a SMG, and same with the optimal range. As usual on the attribute, get the damage to target out of cover. That's the one you want to get. But more importantly here, we have the talent, which is making this gun insane. So adaptive instincts, hitting 30 headshots will grant you 20 critical hit chance and 50 critical hit damage. This is a critical hit damage, critical hit chance build. So you want to get 60 critical hit chance, but in this case, you go to the stat sheet, you want to try to hit 40% because you will be getting 20 critical hit chance for free. And the second one gives you 90 weapon damage for 45 seconds. And lastly, 20 leg shots for 150% reload speed. And important to note with this gun is that the buff refresh when you come out of combat, which we are gonna go through later because there is a trick to deal with that. Super fun gun, but it have its limits. As you can see, there's a lot of spread. So it's not the best when it comes to long range. But in this season, I would say this one is better than ever, because this season come with modifiers that buff your rate of fire up to 30% and also 21% damage bonus. But the rate of fire bonus is pretty insane when you have a gun like Victor, because it already has such a fast rate of fire, which means you can build stacks insanely quick. And since you are having more rate of fire, you are going to be reloading way more because you will mag down faster, which I'm pretty sure you guys have noticed. But that's really good with this gun, because if you hit the legs, which we can't do here, you will get the 150% reload speed. So you will be reloading super fast. And since we have rate of fire buff and shoot even faster, you will build the stacks even faster than before. But before we get started, just a quick word from the sponsor of this month, which is the browser made for gamers called Opera GX, that comes with built-in adblock and VPN, and a lot of extra features as you can see on the screen. And each download will add 10 minutes to my current subathon at Twitch, and on top of that also give me some dollars. And actually today we got 10 extra hours just from this alone, which basically adds an additional day just for the subathon, and it takes less than a minute to download. On top of that, I'm also doing a Borderlands 4 giveaway that you can join if you downloaded Opera GX, so make sure you check the link in the description. And if we manage to reach 150 Opera GX downloads, I will do a Division 1 stream and going in to the Dark Zone. In case you're wondering how to get Chameleon, I would just go countdown and I would just farm for ARs. I think also bounties, if I'm not remembering wrong. But you also got to remember we have retaliation. So I would just farm retaliation and hope that you actually get it from the blueprint. And here you probably think it's RNG, but let me give me 1 second and I will show you right here that you can actually target farm the blueprint. So right here we have what exotic blueprint drops from what faction, and we can see that hyenas are the ones that drop Chameleon, and it is on completion blueprint. So just spam retaliation for hyenas and you should be able to get the blueprint pretty quick, and then you can just craft it. So actually pretty nice thing with this update in case you don't have it. One item that I think is so good when it comes to Chameleon is the Exodus gloves. And these are pretty easy to farm these days. Before they used to feel like they were bugged and they would never drop. But this season I've been getting them so many times. You would do True Sounds completion blueprint right there for Exodus gloves. So that's a pretty straightforward way to get it. But the really good thing with this is that you have smoke screen. So when your armor breaks, you will pop a smoke screen. This will take you out of combat for 3 seconds. and it have a cooldown of 40. If we remember the Chameleon, if you go out of combat, the buff refreshes. Also, the buff's uptime are 45 seconds. Which means if you are too slow to get out of combat, you can use the armor break and it will go out of combat and it will refresh the stacks. Now we are in the shooting range, so it doesn't work that way. But when you are in combat, it will refresh that. So it's an extremely easy way to keep the Chameleon buff up. And on top of that, it will give you some more survivability as well. Those are definitely must have. Then we have Striker, no surprises, give us rate of fire, which works well with Chameleon, weapon handling for stability, accuracy, reload speed, and swap speed. And of course the 4-piece, if you hit the target, you will build up stacks up to 100, that gives you weapon damage. If you use the chest piece, which we are in this case, it will give you 200 stacks. And stats prio, you can build this however you want, but I'm going 6 red and then everything into crit. So as I said before, 40% crit chance and the rest in critical hit damage on every piece. We will go through every piece later though. And then lastly, the last piece is optional. So with this update, they did add spot on, which works pretty good with this. It is noticeable difference with the accuracy. We check really quick here. You're gonna see there is a difference in the accuracy. Probably hard to tell like this, but there is definitely a difference. So you could use that one, but personally I don't think it's worth it because thermal is in the game. And I think thermal is just amazing this patch. Because you split the damage, and in this patch overall, you are dealing more damage than ever. Make you speed farm so fast. So I would definitely recommend to check out thermal this patch as well. Because I have always loved them, but I think this patch, we have so much more damage and it just makes more sense. In case you don't know how thermal works, right? You hit one target, and then it will split the damage to a random target that are 30 meters close, which is also one thing that is good for Chameleon, because Chameleon only have 20 optimal range. You can hit something at 20 meter range, and then it could be somebody 50 meters away, right? 30 meters plus, and you will do damage to both and not lose any damage because of the range, right? So technically, perfect scenario, you can get 50 optimal range, if that makes any sense. That's definitely the setup I think works the best with Chameleon. And especially when we look through the modifiers, I've been using Seal a lot because it comes with damage reduction and weapon damage. And this will tick down eventually, but when you get kills, it will give you time back. Like stacks back, right? And having thermal just makes it so much easier to always have a target to shoot at, which means you can always get kills. A lot of times in Division 2, they will sit in cover and hide, which is where I think thermal really shines. Because as long as you can shoot a target, you will kill everybody that is just hiding too, which makes it less stressful and easier to just keep Seal up. Other than that, I like to pair it with Rapid's Tear for the tank armor break. I also like to use Keep Out. And then for the last one, if I'm fighting hyenas, which I'm currently doing, I'm using Unfriendly Fire. Just hit the shield and you deflect bullets. Basically a thermal on steroids. Since I'm playing 6 red, I like to have the shield just for the extra survivability. Yes, it gets destroyed pretty quick, but it will still give me some time. And then I just use a Revive Hive. And in terms of specialization, I am using Gunner. Nothing new there. Just for the armor on kill. Take a look here, 10% armor on kill. Also have the every third reload 50% faster, which for this gun doesn't really matter too much. Rate of fire increasement, and then of course make sure you get AR damage. We quickly just look through all the pieces. We have crit damage and crit chance everywhere. Mainly gonna be critical hit damage though, because we only need to hit 40 critical hit chance. I think it's crit damage on every piece actually. Except Exodus, you can't roll those. But yeah, crit damage on every single piece. Especially since we have Thermal, we are gonna be over the critical hit chance cap. For 45, so when we get the Chameleon buff, we will be over it. But that is basically the build. I think overall, it's actually better than ever. And you have Exodus gloves for survivability. You have Zealot for survivability. So yeah, even though I'm running 6 red, I have a decent amount of survivability. But let me know what you guys think about this build. And I will see you guys live on my stream at twitch.tv/widdz doing the subathon with Twitch drops. Or we'll see you guys in the next YouTube video. Trying to keep this shit up as long as possible, but I don't think it's possible. No, this is impossible. Fuck! Since, like, the Exodus glove don't take me out of combat there. How am I still in combat? Oh, that was bad. Crushed instantly. No damage, it's the Zealot modifier.
Serious trauma detected.
Gives you damage reduction on use.